Do you know, obviously, getting a lot of questions about Roman roads and, sort of late Roman period going into the 500s and sort of the early medieval and the sort of King Arthur stuff. So if we think about the year 330, it was the year Helena from Turkey, who was the mother of Constantine the Great. It was the date that she died. Now, the one big question is the naming of Roman era roads in Cymru associated with Helena or Helena, the Sarn Helen or San Helena. Now, it's said that the mother of Constantine the Great came to Wales, and we also say that she was a Christian as well, before Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire on the death of Constantine the Great in the year 337. Right now, the one thing about these roads, Sarn Helen, the causeway, the roadway of Helen, it's said by some to be directly linked to her, and that she came specifically to Cymru, Wales, to actually build these Roman roads, right? And I'm thinking that obviously where there's a myth and a legend, there's a fact waiting to be told. Do I dismiss this? Is there something in it? Well, there are lots of Sarn Helens in Cymru, Wales, and the thing is, the big questions I've got is, why would she come specifically here to build these roads in the first place? And if they were such amazing structures, why is there no evidence of them other than the fact that there's an alignment over there, and that's called Sarn Helen? You know, all the times I've been looking for bits of Roman road, and they're marked on maps, you don't really find anything other than a trackway. So, and obviously the Sarn Helens up in North Wales are sort of better for Coed and all those areas. It's. Am I jabbering on? Well, the fact of the matter is, do you want a real answer? I don't think they're anything to do with anyone called Helen. I just think they seem to be attributed to a figure, Helen. And was she responsible for building them? I would say no. Now, maybe there's something else in this that we're not seeing. Maybe they're called the Sarn Helens for another reason. Now, if we go with those routeways in the Roman era, named after Helen, Helena, or some Helen from the 300s, there's got to be another reason why. And not the reason that she built them. In Wales, of all places. Why here? You know, this was such a backwater of the Roman era Britain that it's an odd one. So what I wanted to do as well in this recording is sort of move a little bit away. So this is a 2-pointer. Move a little bit away from this road stuff that I've been talking about. Somebody else in another video said, well, why are you just talking about Roman roads recently? And I just thought, well, good point. So I came to doing these specific recordings after the loss of Ross. And lots of you watching these videos are Ross watchers, which is fine. Spread the love, spread the word, and Ross would approve naturally. So I want to talk about something else now for the next 5 minutes. It's King Arthur again. And, do you know, I feel whenever I go to Glastonbury. I know this is going to upset people. And Monica, if it upsets you, then fair enough. I'm sorry, I do apologise. But the link with King Arthur and Glastonbury has been either long dismissed by the Arthurian fraternity or is something that the Arthurian fraternity truly believe. And do you know what? What I want to do is sort of introduce the next recording, because I want to do Arthur, sort of Glastonbury and stuff, right? I know some people are going to be shouting at the screen and saying, look, no. But of all places in Britain where I feel that there's an early medieval presence and there's a sense of true mystery in regards to sort of the Arthur question, the late 300s, 400s and 500s, it's Glastonbury. And I know that we've got sort of various legends of King Arthur being buried at Glastonbury and Guinevere and all these other things, right? Take that out of the mix. The archaeological evidence for an early medieval settlement at Glastonbury is quite powerful, because what we've got within that area of the old town and sort of associated with the Tor as well is early medieval pottery and trading objects that would have actually come from the continent, right? So Glastonbury would have been accessible from the sea in the Roman period, in the post-Roman period, and, you know, probably maybe going up, at least maybe navigable from the sea all the way up into the 1000s. But then everything silted up. So, you know, my archaeological mind tells me we've got evidence going on at that sort of time, that interjunction with sort of the Arthurian stuff, right? So why have we dismissed King Arthur and Glastonbury? Well, there were two archaeologists that I used to be in touch with years ago, called Nancy and Charles Hollingake, who some of the many people who've actually excavated at the Abbey at Glastonbury. And the evidence that they were seeing was that there is evidence of a Roman period occupation, and there's obviously evidence of sort of that post-Roman era sort of pottery as well. So that said, this is the archaeology speaking something about Glastonbury. So then we start to think about the myths and legends associated with Glastonbury, and we talk about, I tell you what, it's really powerful. The first time I went down to Glastonbury, and you've got the holy wells, the red well and the white well, I thought that was amazing. And there were lots more sort of weird, sort of oldie worldy places open back then. Because when you go to the Tor, there was a little road next door to what's described as the red well, the red spring, which you can get iron oxide stained water, right? And opposite there, down this lane, just overlooked by the Tor, right, there was this old, I think it was a pump house station of some description. It was, and that was really interesting and in there. Anyway, the point is that what I'm trying to do, build up the next video, is just basically say, well, I want to do a little bit more about Glastonbury, what people think about Glastonbury. So before I do the video, and I would just like to say that of all places, if there's a place for myths and legends and facts waiting to be told, it is Glastonbury. And do I believe that a figure may have been at Glastonbury with the name King Arthur? Well, why not? You know, it may have been one of a number of people called King Arthur. And why not? Why can't I say that, right? I know it's going to upset loads of people watching this. And some people are going to say, oh, this is academic madness. But no, I've told you there is Roman era evidence. And there is sort of immediate post-Roman era evidence that is local and has actually trade stuff very similar with the archaeological evidence at Dinas Powys. And there's two things that the Dinas Powys site of Cwrdd and the Tor has in common is that both of them at this time in the 400s were at high water, more or less surrounded by water. And you're thinking, well, and that they both brought trade goods in, right? So we aspire to understand this very lost period And this is what we're going to have a little look at in the next video. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do. And just anything you'd like to say. If you've got any criticisms of what I'm saying, then fine. But don't attack me. Right? Don't attack me. Right? Because I'll just get rid of you. Right. Anyway, thank you very much. This is Karl James Langford. Like, subscribe and join. Thank you very much. Bye.